Hare Krishna everyone, so we are back with Light of the Bhagavata by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And this is Shravanam Diaries podcast. I am your host Sulalita Devidasi at your service. We are reading text number 26. The Lord enjoyed in the company of Lord Baladeva and the other cowherd boys, and sometimes sat with them on the same stone slab. While sitting, they ate simple food like rice, dal, vegetables, bread and curd, which they had brought from their homes and which they shared in friendly exchanges. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has expressed His willingness to accept fruits, flowers, leaves, and water from His devotee when they have been offered to Him in devotional affection. The Lord can eat anything and everything, because everything is but a transformation of His own energy. But when there is a question of offering Him something, the offering must be within the range of edibles the Lord has ordered. We cannot offer the Lord that which He has not ordered. The personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, cannot be offered anything beyond the range of good foodstuffs, like rice, dal, wheat, vegetables, milk and milk preparations, and sugar. At Jagannath Puri, the Lord is offered such foodstuffs, and in all scriptures, the very same foodstuffs are mentioned everywhere. The Lord is never hungry, nor does He require any food to fill His empty stomach. He is complete in Himself. Yet He always mercifully eats the foods offered by His devotees in sincere affection. The cowherd boys brought simple foodstuffs from home, and the Lord, who is constantly served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, is always glad to accept such simple foodstuffs from His devotee friends. All the relatives of the Lord are His devotees only, and they are situated in different transcendental mellows as friends, parents, and lovers. The Lord derives transcendental pleasure by accepting services from His various grades of devotees, who are situated in various grades of rasas. These transcendental rasas are pervertedly reflected in the material atmosphere, and thus the spiritual living being, out of ignorance only, vainly seeks the same bliss in matter. Interestingly, this last point about vainly seeking the same bliss in matter, some people may argue that, I have the same bliss in matter, I have heaven on earth. Some people who are, we say, pious by nature, meaning that in past life they have performed very pious and good activities, therefore in this life they have the opulences like beauty, fame, education, wealth. So all of these pious results are manifested in some people's lives here on earth, and for them it's very easy to say that, we're not vainly seeking bliss in matter, we're enjoying that. But strictly speaking, or realistically speaking, it's not the majority of people who are feeling in this way. Even people who are very pious, we say pious, or very well-to-do materially, even they always feel like it's not the point. There's some emptiness inside and something like not right in over here. So I remember one time one actor, I think it was Jim Carrey, he said that I wish everybody would become wealthy and famous to figure out it's not the point. So even people who are very materially well-to-do, they consider deep down inside in the heart, if they're a little more intelligent, they figure out, first of all, it's not permanent because there is death and there is danger at every moment. And secondly, it doesn't quite satisfy the soul. And on the other perspective, there are people living in the same country with us, living in the same maybe street with us, who don't even have the basic material opportunities for these rasas, these different pleasures, you can say, enjoyment and relationships, or even like some people don't even have the roof over their heads, some people are starving. So when it comes to thinking about these realities, when it comes to thinking why is it that this person is enjoying, was born in a wealthy house and was born, like already has a family, has kids, has recognition, and this person, he doesn't have a limb. Why was he born in a bad shape? Why he has to suffer all his life? So when you question these realities, then you come to understand that no, it's actually a prison house. We are in the prison house, actually. It's vainly seeking the same bliss in matter, because at one point you are the wealthy, recognized, attractive person, but few years later you're already on your path to another body. And if you've not lived your life very nicely, then you may even go to hell for some time and then come back as an animal. So if you take a step back and take a bigger, take a look from a bigger perspective, then you actually realize that everybody, out of ignorance only, vainly seeking the same bliss in matter. And it will end in vain. Yes, so, but, just like we mentioned yesterday, Srila Prabhupada mentioned yesterday that just plainly meditating on something impersonal, I am spirit, I am eternal, it's not very attractive. It's not as attractive as listening to nice music and dancing and eating something tasty. So, but just see, we are reading right now that the Lord is sitting under the trees, transcendental trees, sitting with his eternal friends and enjoying the foodstuffs, simple but delicious foodstuffs offered by their parents, and they brought it and they're sharing it, and it's like it's an exchange, it's relationship, it's enjoyment, it's beauty beyond compare. We have nothing. We don't know what beauty is, basically. So later on we will be reading about this in thicker books. We're reading right now. I'm reminding that we are reading only one chapter out of Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam is 8 cantos, and that's like many thousands of verses there. So yes, so that was just a slight highlight on this point. Text number 27. After good rains, the grazing ground for the animals was full of green pasture, and both the bulls and the cows sat down on the grass fully satisfied. The cows, followed by their calves, appeared tired of grazing because of full milk bags. Calmly and quietly, the cows and calves rested and ruminated, chewing their cud. Purport. Protection and grazing ground for the cows are among the essential needs for society and the welfare of people in general. The animal fat required for the human body can be well derived from cow's milk. Cow's milk is very important for human energy, and the economic development of society depends on sufficient food grains, sufficient milk, and sufficient transportation and distribution of these products. Lord Sri Krishna, by his personal example, taught us the importance of cow protection, which is meant not only for the Indian climate, but for all human beings all over the universe. Less intelligent people underestimate the value of cow's milk. Cow's milk is also called go rasa, or the juice from the body of the cow. Milk is the most valuable form of go rasa, and from milk we can prepare many important and valuable foodstuffs for the upkeep of the human body. The killing of cows by human society is one of the grossest suicidal policies, and those who are anxious to cultivate the human spirit must turn their first attention toward the question of cow protection. If we really want to cultivate the human spirit in society, we must have first-class intelligent men to guide the society and to develop the finer tissues of our brains. We must assimilate vitamin values from milk. Devotees worship Lord Sri Krishna by addressing him as the well-wisher of the Brahmanas and the cows. The most intelligent class of men who have perfectly attained knowledge in spiritual values are called Brahmanas. No society can improve in transcendental knowledge without the guidance of such first-class men, and no brain can assimilate the subtle form of knowledge without fine brain tissues. For such important brain tissues, we require a sufficient quantity of milk and milk preparations. Ultimately, we need to protect the cow to derive the highest benefit from this important animal. The protection of cows, therefore, is not merely a religious sentiment, but a means to secure the highest benefit for human society. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to stop here for today. And of course, when Srila Prabhupada says that milk is the most valuable substance, go rasa, and it develops finer brain tissues, we have to also understand that Prabhupada said protect the cows. So the way the cows are treated in these industries, how they're being slaughtered afterwards, how they're separated from their calves, you have to be such a hard-hearted person to actually know how the industry works and think that everything is fine. So yes, it is a big issue, and it is a suicidal policy because it brings so many bad sinful reactions upon the society, and society struggles and they don't know what have we done, and they're like, it's right over you. Mass slaughter is going on of animals, specifically cows. So there is a verse which just now Srila Prabhupada mentioned that Lord Krishna is the protector of Brahmanas and the cows, which goes Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Nama. So Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. So if you want to please the Lord, and if you want to develop fine brain tissues, take care of the cows and love the cows and protect the cows and drink cow's milk. So, thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, the link to this book is in the description, and we shall see you next time. Hare Krishna.